Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to Smoke Sesh. You guys, I am so happy to be back with you all this week. I am feeling refreshed. I'm feeling renewed. I have a new joyous sense of life. And honestly, it's exactly what Hannah fucking needed. It really honestly is. Sorry if I look a mess, to be fair. I am kind of a mess today. We'll go over how my trip to Oregon and Portland was in a second, but I'm not even kidding, you guys. My plane touched down last night at 1 a.m., got home, no unpacking, just stripped off all my clothes, climbed into bed, fell asleep. Alarm went off at 6 a.m. today. Yeah, 5 hours of sleep, a big old, good old 5 hours of sleep. Coming off of no sleep from my trip, which, like I said, we'll get into. And then I had horseback riding lessons this morning. I could not miss my horseback riding lessons. I'll tell you what, my alarm went off and I was like, do I just text her like, hey girl, can I come tomorrow or something? But no, I was like, listen, it's something I love. It's something I enjoy. It's something I like really, really cherish. Like, there's no use skipping out on it. Like, bitch, you're already up. You already heard the alarm. You might as well lock in and go to those lessons. And you know what? It was a fantastic time. I did some horseback riding lessons, or not lessons, but some trail riding out in Oregon when I was there. And I feel like that was like a really good change of pace. So when I was able to go to lessons today, I was able to do it with like a, different mindset, more of a comfortability, because I've actually been on a horse recently. And honestly, it was a fantastic lesson. I don't want to get too cocky, because I feel like once you get too cocky or, oh yeah, I know everything, that's when the life is like, oh, you thought? That's when the universe is like, oh, you thought you knew everything? Well, bitch, prepare. And I don't need that kind of lesson, especially around fucking horses. Like, respect, keep my distance, make sure, I am playing that safe. But that was really great. Now I'm here. I'm sitting down with you guys. I'm ready to hang out and chat everything I have been up to, because, man, I have been busy. I left Tuesday for Oregon and I was there for about 6 days. Yeah, something like that. Something, time. It's an illusion or whatever they say. Anyways, I went out to Oregon because I have family who lives out there. My aunt on my mom's side, my cousins. I have like a great uncle out there. They have always lived in Oregon my entire life, specifically Salem, Oregon. So I've always spent, random summers or random trips flying up and out there, and I do really enjoy Oregon, but it's never like yeah, that's gonna be my first choice. It's usually like, oh, family matters have to happen, and thus let me go out there. I think this trip really kind of opened my eyes up to some new explorations and a new sense of like appreciation, because I kind of soloed this trip, which was a first for me. But I was going out there because it was time to celebrate some family. My aunt just finished her cancer and radiation treatments, which is so exciting. It was just incredibly heartbreaking that she got that diagnosis, and being so far away, there's only so much amount of support you can really give. My mom was flying out there like once a month and staying out for like 2 weeks just to help out around the house and to make sure she had the support that was needed, which was so fantastic of my mom to do. Shout out to her. If only I had a sister. Like, could you imagine? Are you kidding me? And then I was like, okay, it's time to get out there. My cousin also just had a baby, brand new little baby. And I don't know, something about the older you get, you forget about all the family drama. You forget about yourself a little bit. And it's like, if no one is there to lift each other up, then who's going to be there? So bitch, let me book my ticket. Let's get out there. Let's celebrate, making it through your cancer treatment. Let's celebrate the baby. Let's go have a good time. Like I said, I also kind of soloed this trip. I've been to Oregon many a times, usually with boyfriends or family. I've never been out there alone, and I haven't done a solo trip in a while. My last solo trip, I believe, was to Arkansas. I don't know, it's been such a long time. So this was a new little challenge, navigating rental cars, flying, all that fun stuff where when traveling with a partner, it's kind of nice just to be like, okay, let's make sure we're going in the right direction. Let's make sure we have all the information we need, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you only got yourself. And good thing I got a good fucking head on my shoulders because it was smooth sailing. Very smooth sailing. I got that premium insurance on that rental car just in case I crash that bitch. Who knows? But I think the one thing I was the most afraid for, which like solo traveling wise, which is so funny, I don't know why this is the one thing I was scared of, was driving. I was so scared of driving. I was like, I like traveling with people because I can just kind of like backseat it or passenger princess it, where I'm like, let me look out the window and appreciate and enjoy the view while someone else stresses behind the wheel. So that's the one thing I really wasn't looking forward to. But I'll tell you what, Kansas City has adequately prepared me to be able to drive quite literally anywhere. I think Kansas City was voted #1 worst drivers. Like if you're not going 25 over on the highway over 100 miles an hour, like you're not keeping up. Not that I'm doing that. Please be fucking safe on the road. There's nothing that pisses me off more than like a dumbass driver. But out here, you really have to defensive drive because you don't know what idiots are going to be around you. And thus, honestly, Portland, which I flew into and driving around there the first day was so incredibly easy and so fantastic. Oh my God, not me being like, I'm not going to miss a week of vlogs on the YouTube channel. Yeah, I did. Life just, sometimes it gets in the way, and I'm going to offer myself some grace here. Okay, this is a great lesson for you all. Just because you miss out on something or you don't do it correctly or you don't blah, 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 whatever it is that you feel down on yourself about, I am fantastic about like beating myself up over it. Like, oh yeah, like you really didn't live up to your expectations, da, 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 da. And that just makes me feel worse. No, we're not doing that. We're offering grace and compassion and kindness because that gives me enough time to really like take time to edit and film the travel vlog that I'll be uploading this Sunday. Early for the Patreon girlies. I never miss a Patreon episode, best believe. Come join, come hang out, patreon.com/smokesashshawty. And yes, of course, what I talk about here will be uploaded vlog style on my YouTube channel, Hannah Marlene 444. But I spent the first day exploring Portland. I immediately got off that fucking plane and got out into nature. The weather there compared to the weather here was fabulous. We had just gotten like 12 inches of snow right before we left. So I was like, oh, a little rain and 40-degree weather. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It feels like springtime where there's people around me in like parkas and coats and many, many layers, 18 scarves. I'm like running around in a pair of overalls and like a thin ass flannel. I'm sure I look crazy, but as soon as I get off a plane, my parents have me trained that like there's no relaxing on vacation. If you are not utilizing every single second that you have to do something that you want, then what are you even fucking doing? Like you're wasting your time. Growing up when we went on vacation, it was like go, 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 hike, this thing, eat, go camp, blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of how my brain works. If I'm like sitting anywhere for an hour plus, I'm like, okay, I'm wasting time when I could be on a trail in the middle of the woods. So immediately got off the plane in Portland, went to Multnomah Falls, which is fantastic. Super easy drive from the Portland airport. It's a great stop if you were flying into the area and have like, maybe 20 minutes to go stop and see some nature. It was so beautiful. I love a good waterfall. Oof, ushy gushy, fantastic. Yes, Mother Nature, she is everything. Went out there, did a little bit walking around, did some hiking, went into Portland towards the the Hawthorne area, Hawthorne Street, I think is what it's called. There's like 8 blocks of just like a bunch of like secondhand thrift stores, things like that, cute little restaurants, cute little shops. Went there, did a little thrifting, had so much self-control, which I'm very proud of because I've noticed the secondhand thrifting, whatever you want to call it, in Portland is kind of like a dump. It's like I feel like they just grabbed everything that they could from the thrift stores and then put like marked it up by like 20% and threw it in a store. And usually that would make me very tempted, but no, I really, really, maintained my self-control, didn't spend too much goddamn money, didn't overpack my suitcase, because I've done that many a times where it's like you did not need to shop that hard to the point where you're at the Southwest counter having to ask if you can buy a Southwest duffel bag so you can, actually make sure your suitcase doesn't weigh 100 fucking pounds. Yeah, life hack for you. If you ever overpack and they're like, it's going to be $100 charge, Southwest sells duffel bags at the fucking counter for $20. Speaking of Southwest, their new updates suck. I'll still keep flying it because I'm going to cheap out every time. Best believe. It's like I'll just go through the temporary pain of public transit in order to save money and get where I want to go and then do some shopping. And then immediately I drove right into Salem, Oregon to spend some time with my family. Big things we did. I did like a bunch of hiking. We went to Silver Falls I think it's the South Fall. That's usually the one hike that I always do when I am in Oregon is Silver Falls, just because it's so close to my family's house. Did that, did Multnomah Falls. And then the next day, which is the one thing that I was so excited about, I went trail riding. Now that I'm like into horses or whatever, now that I'm a horse girl certified, not really. I'm trying to earn my keep. Okay. Now that I'm vacationing or anywhere I go on vacation, it's my goal to do a horseback riding situation wherever I am. And out there was a lot of like beach ride offerings, but I'm a forest girl. Like I'm very a forest fairy. And if I'm going to be anywhere, I mean, love the beach. We did go to the ocean, but I want to be up in the trees in the silence. So my cousin had a friend who did a bunch of has horses, does a lot of trail riding. And she recommended this place, which if you are ever in the Yamhill County area near Salem, I think it's like McMinnville, or even you want to take a trip down south from Portland, Rebers Ranch, Rebers Ranch. Oh my God, it was fantastic. It was so beautiful, so incredible, very well kept horses, very calm horses. Because sometimes you're like, you never really know. You never know how they're treating these animals, and that kind of puts me on edge. Not that I doubted them in any sort of way, but fantastic horses. I did basically a private tour because I booked an early session, and I think I was supposed to be with 2 other people, and they wussed out because it was raining. Girl, put me on that fucking horse. I'll be happy. I don't care about a little rain. A little weather is whatever to me. It's not snow, okay? It's not 12 inches of snow. I can handle getting wet. You guys know I love to get wet. Anyways, I did a 2-hour ride up through the hills, through the forest. They had about, I think, 250 acres out there. I could only imagine during the summertime. Gorgeous. But for January, it was impressive. It was very impressive. I do recommend a raincoat if you're out in that area, but I highly recommend, if you are in the area, going to Rebers Ranch and experiencing it, because they really did a fantastic job. Me and the girl were chit-chatting the entire time. It's like a family-owned area. She bought the company from her grandmother, passed down through generations, just the passion. She was telling me stories about, oh yeah, growing up, seeing this and doing that, and I've been riding these trails for this many years. It was genuinely just so amazing and so impressive, and it also is invigorating something inside of me where it's like, I have to keep doing this. I gotta keep doing this. I gotta keep getting outside. I need to be in nature. I need to be around horses. It really solidified something in my brain that I'm like, I am a West Coast girl. I do think I belong in the West Coast. I do. I love a Missouri summer, a Kansas City summer. Nothing beats it. I know you're like, really, nothing beats it. No, if you know the spots, nothing beats it. But literally any other time, yeah, I want to be in the West Coast. I don't think I'm meant to live in Oregon. I do love Oregon. It's a little too granola for me. I'm in a flowy white skirt and people are side-eyeing me because I'm not in hiking pants. It's like that kind of vibe. I need a little bit more openness to weirdness, which is odd because you think Portland, it's as weird as it gets. I feel like, the LA area or those kind of areas, that's where it gets real weird. I definitely belong out there. I know my boyfriend was like, I was expecting you to come home and be packing your things. We gotta move. And I'm like, well, I still feel that way. I definitely feel that way about the West Coast, but I don't think Oregon is the spot for me. I believe my parents will be moving out there, so I'll always have an opportunity to get out into that state. But I think just in my heart, I am a California girl. And I think that's going to be a big goal for mine this summer, is to get down to California and do some horseback riding out there. But I learned a lot of things about myself. I learned how to trust myself a little bit more this trip. Solo traveling is so amazing, and I highly recommend it to everybody. Everybody? Yes, everybody. And you know who I particularly recommend solo traveling to? People who are unsure of themselves. Listen, if you are unsure of yourself, if you doubt yourself, if you don't have a lot of self-confidence, it's because you have not pushed yourself to that limit yet. And I mean that in a healthy way. Like, don't push yourself to the limit where you're like panic attacking on the floor. Like, let's not do that. Let's do small trials and tribulations till we get to the big ones. But solo traveling is so beneficial to building self-confidence, self-trust, an innate ability to be able to have fun wherever you go, to kind of like not be so in your head and to navigate. Oh my God, I will be doing many more solo trips after this, honestly. I had someone ask, actually, I think this is a good time to bring it up. They said, did you travel alone? I want to travel so much more this year, but my friends and family are kind of broke / with kids, so it makes it hard. I'm just scared of getting kidnapped, LOL. You know what? Very valid. Like, I understand the fears. Any fear that you might be having about solo traveling, I mean, definitely have had that fear too, where it's like safety. You know, I'm a woman. I don't want to be out late at night in certain places. Of course, with other people, you feel safer. You feel like maybe more supported. But you cannot live your life in fear. I mean, be aware of your surroundings. Hello. But like, you cannot live your life in fear, or you will not live at all. That's how it is. You know, you have to do it scared, or you won't be doing it. And I am learning that lesson a little late. I continuously learn this lesson whenever I put myself to the challenge of just like being alone in a public space or trying something new, whatever it may be, traveling out of the country, going on a trip alone, sometimes even like when the agoraphobia hits, forcing myself to go to the grocery store. Oh my God, Trader Joe's on a Sunday. Talk about trials and tribulations. But that fear is going to exist no matter what. You can be the most self-confident person. The only difference between the person who is very self-confident and doesn't leave the house and the person who is not self-confident and doesn't leave the house is that the person who leaves the house feels the fear and does it anyway. You know, they both feel the same way. They're both a little terrified. They're both like, uh-oh, but what if this happens? Self-doubt, this, that, and the other. But the only difference between the person who does the damn thing and the one who doesn't is they feel the fear and they do it anyway. I think horseback riding has really taught me a lot about that. When I was first starting, I was definitely very fearful. I mean, who isn't? I think with everything, there should be a healthy level of fear that just keeps you self-aware. That's good. If you do not challenge your fear, you will never live. If you do not challenge your fear, you will never get to do the things you want to do. If you do not challenge your fear, you will not build that self-confidence. If you do not challenge your fear will control you. And I was very fearful going into this trip. Like I said, just because I haven't done anything alone, like in a different state for a long time. As soon as you put yourself to the test, as soon as you stand beside yourself and you say, okay, Hannah, we're trying this. I know you're scared, but get up, lace up those fucking boots. I'll hold your hand. Let's do this together. As soon as you start doing it, you will realize, wow, A, it's much easier than you ever could have imagined. B, I'm kind of fucking cool for doing this. And C, I can have a lot of fun with myself, okay? And that is a really good lesson I think we all need to learn. So if you don't have the friends to go with you, all my friends are broke, one's having a baby, one's in college, one's doing this, one's doing that, that's okay. That's life. That doesn't mean your friends don't love you and aren't down. It just means they're busy with life. I mean, the best thing you can be to a friend is understanding. So let them do their own thing. If they can't come with you, that's okay. Oh, your family is busy. They can't do this with you. They can't do that with you. Whatever it may be, that's all right. Because guess what? You have yourself always. That's what the beautiful thing about life is no matter what, I mean, a little scary depending on that relationship, but no matter what, you will always have yourself. And that's why I always reiterate how important it is to, have that, or like challenge yourself to have a good relationship with yourself. Because no matter where you go, girl, she's following you. He's behind me, isn't he? Like literally, she's always going to be with you. They're always going to be with you. You will always be with yourself. So if you're going to work on any sort of relationship in this life, let it be with you. And great way to do that, great way to challenge it, great way to take that, relationship to the next level. Oh, you want to get serious with yourself? Solo travel. You don't have to go out of the country for a month. You don't have to do these crazy big solo travels. I want to, but I knew I needed to work my way up to that level before I can just take off to Europe for a month or something. And I think this was fantastic. 5 days, hiking, well-known areas, good weather, chill environment, somewhere I can have fun, somewhere where I can see a bunch of different things, full insurance on the rental car just in case for my anxiety purposes. Even though it's probably a fucking scam, I don't care. It was great. I got to see waterfalls. I got to go on horseback. I got to fucking go to the ocean. We went to the ocean. We went tide pooling. We went seashelling. It was so beautiful. I got blessed with salty sea air. I also got food poisoning. Yeah, this is when I talk about, oh yeah, I'm so tired. Well, when I was staying at my aunt's house, which God love her, I was staying in my cousin's room. And for some reason, he likes to sleep on a mattress that is what I would consider harder than the floor for some reason. And I like a very soft mattress, and not to be like, you complainer, annoying. No, grateful, free housing, free whatever. But I definitely was like, I think the carpet would be softer than this. So that was an adjustment of like my brain trying to figure out how to relax on that. And then my last night, which I actually needed sleep for because I had to wake up early to go, full travel day. I got to wake up early. I got to make my flight. I had like a 2-hour drive from where we were staying at the ocean. The night before, which I think I induced this on myself, we had clam chowder, oyster shooters, and smoked salmon. All of which fantastic, amazing, wonderful. Wow. Amazing. I love seafood. Until I lay down to go to bed, honk shoe, me, sleeping soundly. Wake up, it's 2 a.m. I'm having the most gut-wrenching cramps of my entire life. Don't worry, it's not going to get too TMI here. I'm going to keep it PG as I can. But gut-wrenching cramps. And sometimes in the middle of the night, you're like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to cramp through it and go back to bed. No. I think I took about 8 or 9 bathroom trips after that. I go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, maybe. Am I done? Is it over now? Can I finally go to sleep? No, bitch, you thought. Right when you're about to close your eyes, another wave of cramps comes through. And I thought I was going to be like vomiting, but no, my body wouldn't let me do that. It was just number 2, unfortunately. And then finally, I ran out of toilet paper. And I was like, okay, let me go lay back down. I check my phone. It's 8 a.m. I was like, oh, I have to like get up. Yeah, I gotta like get up and fucking pack my shit and get out of here. And that's what I did. And then I got 5 hours sleep after that. So I'm a little cuckoo bananas right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little out of it. I'm a little silly, but that's okay. It makes for a good time. Fingers fucking crossed. But moral of the story is I had a blast. I really enjoyed my time. It was so good to see family. Even if I don't see them that often, it's always nice to just reconnect and also show support where it's needed. We all need a little bit of support nowadays, and the best thing you can do is just give that out. I really needed to get into some nature. The Midwest winters have been killing my spirit, and that was just so beautiful. People are like, how are you going to go out hiking in that? What, you're really going to go outside? Yes, bitch. What the fuck do you mean? It's only 40 degrees. Back home, -12. I went horseback riding today. It was a high of 25. Yeah, 40 degrees is nothing, okay? With a little bit of rain, I don't care. It's nothing. I'm good to go. Gotta see some waterfalls, gotta go to the ocean. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. It made me more self-confident in myself. It made me trust myself a little bit more, built up that passion inside of me, got that excitement going. I'm excited to plan some more things for the rest of the year. I'm excited for what the year, has in store for me, considering that was just January. Like, I'm so excited to see what travels I get into and, how much more my confidence grows. But if I can, more of the story tell you anything, it's feel the fear, do it anyway, work on your relationship with yourself because it's forever. And the best thing you can have for yourself is a good relationship. And the best way to have a good relationship is to stand 10 toes down beside yourself and do what you want for your heart. That's what matters, truly. Anyways, many photo dumps coming. Follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. If you don't know where to submit your questions, at Hannah Marlene on Instagram, you can DM me, but also I submit the questionnaire every Sunday on my Instagram story, so keep an eye out for that. If you want to submit a call-in, which I gotta hunt for some, maybe we'll do some today, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. If it won't let you submit a call-in, just be like, hey girl, it's not letting me in. I'll immediately, allow you to do so. And I am currently editing the vlog, so if you want to see the vlog, it'll be up regularly on Sunday at YouTube, Hannah Marlene 444. But if you want extra content, if you, wanted to see the photos earlier than I post them, I already posted a photo dump of my travels on Patreon. Patreon exclusive podcast where I answer every single one of your questions. Yes, I'm not even kidding, every single one. And much, 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 much more. It's the beginning of the month, so we always do a tarot reading for the month. We always do a book club book for the month. It's fun over there. I try and make sure your $7 is worth it. Like, let me be honest. If I'm not going to take you guys for granted, I want to make sure y'all are fed, okay? Patreon.com/smokesesshotty. But enough yapping, girl. Let's get into what you guys are up to this week. Someone said acne journey update. I just got prescribed tretinoin. What moisturizer, cleanser are you using alongside it, or any other products you'd recommend while using tretinoin? Thanks, babe. Ooh, tretinoin has been fantastic for me. My skin has never looked better. I know. And not to push it on people, because never ever will I push anything on anybody. Please talk to your doctors. Hello. But it worked really well for my mom, like I said. So I knew it was going to work well for me. And immediately, my skin, the problem with my skin is the cell turnover rate isn't very good. Like, my dry skin really likes to stick. So this helps just strip away the layers. If you don't need layers stripped away, then maybe it's not for you. But it's been fantastic with just clearing out gunk. I am having some purging from the tretinoin and spironolactone combo. That's okay. You got to just embrace the purge the best you can, babe. The thing about tretinoin is, though, it's going to dry the fuck out of your skin. Low-key spironolactone kind of does that too to me. And my facialist put me onto the best moisturizer ever. And I'm going to go ahead and put y'all on too, because, oh my God, it's amazing. And I didn't wear moisturizer up until a year ago. I'm not kidding. I would try moisturizer. I'm like, oh, this is the new big moisturizer. Let me try it. I'd use it for a week, and immediately it'd be just closed comedones, clogging my pores. It was too heavy, too oily. My face does not fuck with moisturizer, so it took me a long time to find a moisturizer I liked, and this is the one I love. Face Reality Clear Derma Moisturizer. It's fantastic. It is a little bit pricey, but my facialist put me onto it, and I can slather my skin in this a real good thick layer, especially post-tretinoin usage, and it is just, ooh, chef's kiss. It's fantastic. Oh, I definitely should have been using this way earlier on my poor skin. But like I said, moisturizers were not fucking with me. I was not fucking with the moisturizers. This Face Reality company, so incredibly good. Clear Derma Moisturizer. And for me, I'm not using my tretinoin as much as my doctor said to. Because I just want to really wean my skin into it. So I'm only using it once a week right now. And people talk about the sandwich method, which is moisturizer, tretinoin, moisturizer, which I think could be good if you're doing it often. But since I'm only doing it once a week, I do tretinoin and then a really thick layer of this moisturizer. And I am good. I'm good. But I had to put you guys on because I don't think I've talked about this moisturizer, and it truly has been a lifesaver. Someone said the fucking groundhog says 6 more weeks of winter, girl. Oh, I saw him. What's his name? Punxsutawney Phil or whatever. Yeah. You know what? I think he always says that. Can I be real? I think that fucking groundhog is always like 6 more weeks of winter. And he's always right. That's the one thing about the groundhog. He is always fucking right, I fear. Can we talk about how weird of a tradition that is? Like, what do you mean the groundhog sees his shadow and will predict if it's going to be an early spring or not? I could have told you it's not going to be an early spring just because of the amount of snow we just got. But I think I can hold out a little bit longer on the winter because I did a little winter trip. I think a winter trip is going to become a new routine for me because it is really nice to switch things up a little bit, to get a little warmth on my skin, even if it is only like 30 degrees more. It's good for the soul. It makes you able to keep going through the cold times, okay? And hold out because summer is just around the corner, girls. We are almost there. Please stay strong. Oh, speaking of, what are you looking forward to post-winter? Love you, diva. Love you. You know what? I think what I'm looking forward to most post-winter is smoking a joint and eating a sandwich by the river. There really is, like, that is peak existing right there. Smoking some weed in a tiny ass little bikini, preferably Sydney Mary bikini. Literally love her down, girl. Smoking a fat joint in my hot ass bikini, getting a good sunburn, dipping my toes in a cold river, hearing the leaves like rustling above me and the birds chattering around me, and then facing a fat ass sandwich. That is peak existence to me, and that is what I hold on for every winter. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me from not offing myself in the winter, because there's more summers to come. Okay, there's many more summers to come. We must hold out. Stay strong, girls. Oh my god, you guys, it's February. What the fuck? Happy Black History Month. Oh my goodness. But time is flying. Holy shit. Usually January to me is like the longest month of the year. January this year was pretty good. Oh, speaking of, I guess let's work on January before we move to February. Someone said, how was dry Jan? How are all the new routines sticking? Would love updates on this. I honestly had a great dry January. I think the only thing I really struggled with during dry January was the impulse to drink around, like, if I would like go in for a serving shift around coworkers, or like I'd be invited for a night out. I think that's like my new like thing I want to work on with drinking is I kind of doing the dry January bit kept me from not drinking every single night, which was the problem. Let's be honest with ourselves. Okay, therapy here. The problem was I was drinking every night. I would get like a bottle of wine, not a bottle of wine a night, but I have a couple glasses while I cook dinner. And it's like, you don't need to do that every night. That's too much. So it kind of broke that in me where I'm like, I can't drink that much. Like, that's just too much for me. But now I want to challenge myself to like go out and not drink and see if I can do it, you know? Because I know I can control the amount that I do now, where it's like if I do go out and drink with friends, I can stick to 1 or 2. Like, it really helped me with the quantity amount. But now I really want to challenge myself to go out in a more social sense, sober. So it was really good. I did end it a little early. I mean, hello, I'm in Oregon. We're going to wineries. We're enjoying premium, high quality wine. Of course, hello. If I'm in Oregon, I will be going to a winery. I will be doing a tasting. It's just what it is. So, I mean, okay, I ended it, like 4 days early, but hello, that's still pretty good. You know, I can enjoy my vacation. Okay, girls. But overall, good success, feeling good, feeling refreshed, feeling renewed. What else was I doing? Oh, I was staying very, very consistent with working out, which was really nice. I got into a good routine, and then I kind of got my routine completely thrown out because of all the snow. I couldn't get out of the house. And then vacationing, I'm not, well, I guess I was working out, horseback riding, hiking, but I wasn't doing my yoga. So I'm very excited actually to get back into my routine now that I'm home. It was a really good challenge. I found a place that I really enjoyed. I found instructors I really liked. I found, dates and times that worked for me and my schedule. And so I'm proud that I stuck to that routine of like working out. So it's easy if I fall out of routine to get back in because I know what to expect. I know what worked for me before. And now I can just, reintegrate it again. yoga really changed a lot for me. Just like learning how to be aware of my body and be aware of my breath work and like really focus on what muscles I'm trying to hone in on was very interesting for me. I personally really, really enjoy it. And if you need something like intro to get into and you like haven't been working out and you don't really want to do like high cardio, high exercise, I think yoga is fantastic for beginners and fantastic for people who want to just like slowly integrate into their body, especially if like you have a complicated relationship with your body. I think yoga is fantastic. Just with the peaceful nature of it all, how can you not have a good time, you know? So that was really good. What else was I doing? Oh, I was going to try and do no fast food, which honestly I did pretty good because guess what? When I'm not drinking, I don't crave Taco Bell. Who would have fucking thought? Oh my God, who would have fucking thought? You know, I was occasionally like, I could really go for a grilled cheese burrito. But since I wasn't drinking, I wasn't like impulsively like, yeah, let's go get the fucking grilled cheese burrito. It was like, no, I'll just go home and make whatever that I have in the fridge, you know? So that was really good. I think the very last weekend, like right before I left town, I did succumb to the Taco Bell urges. It was like really, really late one night, and I think there was nothing else open. And if I didn't eat, I was going to become the devil incarnate. So it had to happen. But overall, I did stay pretty strong on that. And yeah, I'm feeling really good. It was a really good start to the year. I'm feeling high energy. I'm feeling, a good time. The Chinese New Year is coming up. I believe it's on February 17th. So we will celebrate that together in 2 weeks. But Year of the Horse, I'm feeling the energy ramping up. I'm feeling us get excited for the new year. And I am just trying to hold on to my horses the best I can, okay? But the Year of the Snake is coming to the end, so if there's any last minute layers you need to shed and get rid of, go ahead and release those, babe. What we all need right now more than ever is probably like a really good salt scrub and a exfoliating mitt, and get in that shower and shed those layers, babe, okay? Because time's moving quick, and like I said, it's already February. Holy shit. I cannot believe. And that means it's going to be spring and then summer. And I just have a feeling this year is going to go by very quickly. So I'm trying to indulge and enjoy the best that I can every moment that I have. Speaking of February, Valentine's Day is coming up. Yep. Valentine's Day. Oh, Hannah, what are you doing for Valentine's Day this year? I don't know. Every year before, I've always planned Valentine's Day. I've either taken the day off, or sometimes, service industry, you work and then you celebrate like the day after or maybe the day before. Either way, Valentine's Day can be whatever you want it to be. But this year, I don't know. I'm glad my boyfriend picked up on the vibes because I was like, I'm not planning anything. I'm over planning. I've done too much planning. I've planned fucking everything. Like, I just want to be pampered and sit back and relax and enjoy. So for a second I got scared because I didn't tell him that, which I probably should have. I just kind of was like, there's other things going on that I need to focus on. And so I was like, oh God, is he going to forget that Valentine's Day is coming up? Is this going to be a problem? But no, he mentioned it. He was like, would you be okay with A, B, C, D? Like, just say yes or no and tell me what you're wearing. And I was like, okay, perfect. Thank God. Thank God. And if you're a man listening to this, like a straight man with a girlfriend, which there are straight men listening to this podcast, and happy to have you here, okay? Learn some lessons through us all. Even though your girlfriend says she wants to plan Valentine's Day, she doesn't. Even though your girlfriend says, oh, we don't have to do anything, that doesn't mean you actually don't do anything. Just because she says, oh, gifts aren't that important, doesn't mean they're not important. In fact, I fear it might mean the exact opposite. So make those goddamn reservations. Actually, they should have been made probably a week ago. I know. Everything's probably booked up. That's okay. Fight your way in. Maybe show up in person and beg on your hands and knees at those restaurants. Make a reservation. Get your girl some fucking flowers. Buy her the candy heart chocolates. Buy her fucking whatever the hell is in the Valentine's Day section. oh, but it's cheap and it's this and it's that. Yeah, that's what Valentine's Day is about, okay? It's about the lovey-dovey, ushy-gushy, a little dumb, a little stupid, but who cares? Because that's how love is, okay? So get your fucking girl some flowers. Get her that big-ass teddy bear or a jelly cat if you really want to go all out. Book that fucking reservation. Take her out to dinner. And congratulations, you're going to get your dick sucked or your pussy ate. It's going to be fantastic for you. But like, I don't understand. I don't understand the men sometimes who are like, well, I didn't know. It's like, what the fuck do you mean you didn't know? Valentine's Day happens every year. Oh, so let's see what happens with my Valentine's Day. I think it'll be chill. What I'm planning to do this year, we can talk about Valentine's Day gifts. Previously, I've gone like all out. Like, you know, first year when you're like, it's our first Valentine's Day together, you can go a little crazy sometimes, you know, where you're like, I gotta go all out. My first year with my boyfriend, what I did was, which is, I mean, I highly recommend doing. I literally invited him over and I had a robe on, and underneath the robe I had like a lingerie set, and I had a disposable camera, and we went upstairs. I took my robe off and it was like, oh, surprise. And also surprise number 2, here's a disposable camera and you can't touch me until you have taken every single photo on this disposable camera of me in this lingerie set. And then congratulations, here's your Valentine's Day gift, is all of these disposable photo cameras of me hot and sexy in this lingerie. And you get to fuck me after. Like, that is such a good first year Valentine's Day, because like the vibes are still high, and also like you don't want to spend an exorbitant amount of money. It's like, okay, who knows what's gonna happen after this first year, but also like I want to get fun and hot and flirty and have a good time. That's a good time. I'll tell you what, that's easy for you girls too, because even if you do end up breaking up, you have a really hot lingerie set that you get to keep, and it's relatively cheap if you think about it. What, a disposable camera is like $7, and I'm sure you can get some cheap lingerie anywhere. But that's what I did the first year. What else have I done? I love a good like custom gift, you know, photo framed, photo book. I've done a lot of photo books before. My boyfriend skates, so I think it was last year I took like a topless photo of me and put it on a skateboard. So then it's like a hot, sexy photo of me on a skateboard. Pinup style, that was really good. Get creative. Okay, get creative and indulge on their passions. This year I'm going real easy, real like what, we're almost 5 years in, like I can chill a little bit on the gifts, you know what I mean? So this year I think all I'm gonna do is do like a little basket, like a little gift basket of like all his favorite things. What a good little gift. Who wouldn't be happy for that? Okay, throw some like, I don't know, Kit Kats in there, some candy, some cute little heart-shaped things, maybe some like skate wheels or something, you know, of the sorts, a good beanie, some thick socks, some Mountain Dew Code Red, like just shove it full of all their favorite things. Fantastic gift, fantastic indulgence, and they know they've been thought of, okay? And you can fill it up with whatever you want. That's what makes a gift basket so good. Gift baskets are so underrated for any sort of celebration, okay? You can make them pretty cheap. You can go to the dollar store. You can probably fill one up for like $20. You can make them super expensive. Literally anything you want, throw it in a gift basket. Maybe it's all one color. Maybe it's all pinks and reds because it's Valentine's Day. Great Valentine's Day gift. Me personally, I prefer jewelry. Last year I think I asked for like solid gold hoops. That's all I wanted. Solid gold jewelry, always a fantastic way to go in my opinion. And yeah, I literally have not taken them out since. I love a good pair of jewelry, something that like I can always wear and think of them. That is a fantastic gift. A little bit pricier, but like, hey, you better be spending it on the people you love. But like I said, in this economy, gift basket might be the way to go. Someone asked ideas for a solo Valentine's Day as a college student. If I was soloing Valentine's Day, which if I do recommend anything, it's a galantines day. Don't forget about your galantines, okay? Last year I was invited to a galantines day and it was so fun. And it doesn't have to be on Valentine's Day. Maybe just around, show the women in your life that you love them. But we just like all brought a fun little baked breakfast good, and then they had mimosas, and then they bought a bunch of like cardstock and glitter and glue and all this stuff, and we made homemade valentines, like really old school homemade lacy fun valentines. It was adorable and so fun to just craft with your girls. If you're a planner and you want to like have a good little Galentine's Day, I highly recommend. But also if you're soloing Valentine's Day, honestly, peak experience. Oh, I get to dedicate this day to self-love. Say no more, okay? And in a relationship or not, I'm gonna do that for myself anyways. So if I was alone on Valentine's Day this year, this is what I would be doing. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go get myself a fun little coffee, preferably like maybe like a little red velvet latte, and I'm gonna chill in a cute little coffee shop with my headphones in. I'm gonna journal a little bit. I'm gonna enjoy my morning to its fullest. Okay, maybe get myself a breakfast burrito, smoke a joint. I'm gonna go home. I'm probably gonna do nothing all day. Maybe actually I'm gonna do a little bit of shopping. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna run some errands. I'm going to do some shopping. I'm going to get myself something that I've really wanted for a long time, but haven't really pulled the trigger on it yet. Like maybe you want that new bag, or maybe you need a new pair of shoes. Maybe you need a new jacket, whatever it is. Use that as an excuse to go spend some money on yourself. If you're in the position to do so, and if that's something that you enjoy. I love a good shopping day. Oof, nothing better. Then I come home and then it's like veg central. Like we are chilling the fuck out. I'm smoking a lot of weed. I'm probably going to have a bottle of wine to myself. I'm going to use some Lush sugar scrub in the bath. Okay. I'm going to run myself a hot bath. I'm going to throw a fucking, fuck it. We're going to put a bath bomb in the bath too. Okay. I'm going to use my Lush sugar scrub. I'm going to scrub my body to the point where I reek of essential oils in the best possible way. I'm going to throw a face mask on. I'm going to be so stoned while doing all of this. Really take care, pamper, enjoy. Post shower, post self-care, post whatever, probably going to bust out the rose toy. Like, let's be fucking honest, ladies. Probably going to bust her out. Bust one, bust two, and then we're going to get some sushi. That's how I feel. You know, I'm going to DoorDash, or maybe, you know, maybe we're not DoorDashing. Maybe that's your resolution this year. Maybe actually we're going to go get in our car, unfortunately, and drive somewhere. And me personally, if I'm having a solo day with myself, it is always a sushi day. And I'm going to get like 8 rolls and some crab rangoon and maybe some ice cream mochi if they got it. And I'm going to come home. I'm going to turn on a fun little rom-com. And I'm going to veg out and eat as much sushi as I possibly can to the point that I pass out. That is the perfect solo Valentine's Day. Why would you not make yourself feel special and loved and important on a day where being special and loved and important is what it's all about? Okay? I feel like people, Valentine's Day, in their heads, they get in this place where it's like, oh, but if I don't have somebody who loves me, then I don't deserve to be celebrated. Like I fucking said at the beginning of the podcast, the only relationship we have to the point of death is ourselves. So why would we not uplift and enjoy and celebrate that relationship? Okay. So please, girls, ladies, theys, thems, men, if you're here too, you deserve all the things that I talked about as well. Okay. Just enjoy your day, indulge in your hobbies, indulge in your passions, celebrate yourself, make yourself feel loved. That's what the day is about. Of course, as well, if you have loved ones in your life, show up for them, tell them a happy Valentine's Day, get your girls some flowers. It really is all that simple. You know, it really is that simple. I remember back in the day, like when I was like growing up with my parents' house, who wasn't growing up with their parents' house, but you know, every Valentine's Day would come around and you know, it was never like a big crazy thing, but always every day when I would come downstairs, or every Valentine's Day when I come downstairs to have breakfast, I would sit down and there would always be like a cute little gift bag and a little card from my parents, just like stating that we love you and we're thinking of you and we're celebrating you today and that you should celebrate yourself. And here's a cutie little thing. Maybe it's like a cheap little box of chocolates. Maybe it's a cute little stuffed animal. Maybe it's like a gift card to my favorite hobby. It was nothing like big or extravagant, but it was the simple act of being known and celebrated and loved, which was what makes it worth it. Okay, that's what Valentine's Day is about. Of course, I'm sure it's like a corporate greedy, you know, whatever, blah, 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 feasting on our love in order to make money. Yeah, duh, what isn't? But I'm not here to be pessimistic and all that bullshit. I'm here to enjoy my chocolate and my fucking candy hearts in peace and tell myself I love you in the mirror about 1,000,000 times and rub myself down with essential oils and rub one out while I'm at it. Just kidding. But you guys get out there, have some fun, enjoy Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be so serious that I think some people take it. Like, release and relinquish the need to like have everything be perfect and really focus on the love, because that's what it's all about. Last Valentine's Day, I think all we did was like go to an art museum, and it was just so nice to be like, okay, pause, quality time together. Let's go look at some art. Let's like kiss each other in front of like a romantic painting, and then like go get some mozzarella sticks and go home. Like, let's keep it simple and enjoyable. Hannah, I love you so much. I love you. How can I call in more genuine love for February? Genuine love. I love, 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 love. I think love is everything. I literally have a tattoo that says with love, because not only is it a reminder to myself, but also the fucking people around me to act with love and to really like go at things from your heart. And I think, love is an energy exchange. Everything is an energy exchange. If you want to receive positive things, you must wholeheartedly give positive things, but also you can never like give energy and expect energy back. You have to be selfless in that act, because when you give something in hopes of it returning to you, or when you do something in hopes of, you getting that thing back, it's still kind of a selfish act. You're still only doing it for yourself. You must always behave and act in a way that is selfless and that is full of love, and that will always attract positive energy towards you, and maybe the more genuine love you're trying to receive. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's experience in life is going to differ. One day you might have the best day ever. The next day you might have the worst day ever. But that doesn't mean it should change the way you interact and receive and, experience the world around you. No matter how hard of a day, no matter how horrible of a day, no matter what I am going through, once again, the whole point of my tattoo, I will always be moving to my best with love. It really is the best way to call in a very genuine appreciation, genuine experiences, genuine interactions with people around you. And I think it has made for the best kind of energy exchange with the world around me, where it's like, sure, maybe I overexerted the love that I had today, and yeah, maybe I didn't get any of it back, but the stranger in the grocery store stopped me and talked to me for like 25 minutes randomly, and sometimes that's what it's all about. I think nowadays genuine love can maybe be harder to come by, because we have post-COVID, we've all become a little bit more selfish. Me too. Like, I'm not immune to, growing older and getting a bit more jaded. People are maybe a little bit more afraid to, show their heart on their sleeve. Is that the euphemism? To really like allow themselves to be open and honest and real. And that can make for harder connections or less genuine connections. But if you don't start, then who will? That's kind of how I view it. It's like, oh, you want other people to become more full of love and more genuine and more, open and honest, but there's no one showing them how to do it. So like, why not start with you? Why would you wait for other people to become better when you could be the example that's in front of them? Once again, acting from a selfless place of, they might be evil and awful, but I'm going to be good no matter what. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to sway them. Me being who I am will open their eyes to a new perspective. That's what matters. That's what calls genuine love to you. That's what also like allows you to experience genuine love, good or bad, and what hopefully will make the world a better place. Showing love to each other selflessly. We need way fucking more of that right now. Right now, more than ever, we need love for each other, love for self, in a selfless way. Okay? It's real easy to get selfish out here. It really is. That's the easiest thing to do. Be selfish. Oh, me. It's all about me. Fuck you. Yeah, of course that's the easy thing to do. You know, it's like fight or flight. Once you go into survival mode, of course you're only thinking about yourself. But now more than ever, we need to love on each other. Show love, show appreciation, no matter what. No matter if you're going to receive it back or not, just be there to love each other selflessly. How to feel and be sexy during sex. I feel like I'm awkward and not satisfying my boyfriend. Well, my question is, are you satisfying yourself? Because that's what makes you feel sexy, okay? Okay, so porn brain is really fucked up our heads. And I know this because it's fucked up my head. When I was younger and when I was like, first having sex, okay, you think, okay, how can I arch my back correctly and push my titties together and make the right moaning sound and not look crazy doing it all? And it's like, bitch, you're not on camera. None of that matters. Okay? None of that matters. You're not on camera. And what he's seeing is great no matter what, even if you are in, cow pose. Not, what's cat? Cat, cow, whichever one it is. Like, even if your back is arched the wrong way, it doesn't matter because they're getting to hit it from the back, whoever they may be, okay? Whoever's getting to experience you is getting to experience you, and that's sexy enough. So let's forget about their perspective and let's focus on your perspective, because if you desire to be sexy in someone else's eyes, you must be sexy in your eyes first. Okay? It's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. If you perceive yourself as sexy, hot, amazing, wonderful, cool, lovable, kind, compassionate, other people will also visualize you that way. It's kind of interesting how that happens. It's almost like a psychic spiritual connection where it's like, it genuinely does not matter what you look like or what you dress like or this or that. If you hold yourself to a certain degree in your head and you really do visualize yourself that way, other people will also see you the same way. So, like I said, fuck their perspective. Let's focus on yours. You don't feel sexy. That's okay. We got to start somewhere. We know where you're starting. But also, like, is it because you're seeing yourself from a third party perspective too much? The porn brain of like, you're visualizing yourself through the camera. You're visualizing yourself from someone else's perspective. That's how I was, where it was like, I was unable to be in my body and experience pleasure because I was way too focused. It was almost like astral projecting where I'm like watching it happen from above. It was like, I was not actually in my body experiencing, and I was doing it from this like third party perspective, and that wasn't allowing me to feel sexy because I was like I was perceiving myself way too much. And the last thing you need to do during sex is perceive yourself, okay? Like I said, pleasure. When you're in the bedroom, the sexiest thing you can do is seek pleasure for yourself and your partner. Give and take, okay? That's what sex is about. Receiving and giving. You want to feel pleasure. Your partner wants to feel pleasure. You want to make sure your partner feels pleasure. They want to make sure you feel pleasure. You owe it to yourself to seek that pleasure for yourself and your partner as well. Even if you're like a submissive girly, like, of course, you still want to make sure that you are enjoying your time and so is your partner. Truly and honestly, I did not start feeling sexy in the bedroom until I allowed myself to almost like animalistically have sex. I think I talked about this in the last episode. Did I? Where it was like how to have the best sex is to kind of just like really just allow yourself to be human and fully focus on pleasure. That's also the best way to feel sexy, you know? Sure, you might not be in the perfect porn star position, but when you reach that orgasm, you're going to feel the sexiest you've ever felt in your entire life. Truly and honestly. Now, it does take some practice to get out of your head and some practice to really focus on how you enjoy your pleasure, what gives you pleasure, what you like in the bedroom. That's going to be a little bit of trial and error there. But with time and with, a good partner and a safe space, you will eventually be able to escape your head and get into your body. I think one of my most popular episodes is when we talked about high sex. And the one thing that I really, really think about high sex or having sex when you're just like, under the influence of marijuana is that you are kind of forced to be in your body. It's odd because usually with weed, it does force you in your head if you're doing nothing. But if you're doing a very physical activity, you will be focused on that physical activity. And thus, when it comes to being high during sex, you kind of have no choice but to really focus on that pleasure because it's what's right in front of you. And personally, I do really enjoy high sex for that reason. It makes me actually focus on like, oh wait, I don't like that. So let's switch it up. Oh wait, this does feel really good. Let me ask for more of that. Like, let me focus on the pleasure because it's what's in front of me and what's most important in my brain. I don't ever want to encourage anybody to do anything, but I do think that's what also like trained me to really allow myself to focus on pleasure. I also think, not to generalize, but definitely for me as a woman, we aren't really told we're allowed to enjoy pleasure, I think the number one act of defiance of you as a woman is to allow yourself to enjoy pleasure and to seek pleasure, no matter how cheap of the dopamine hit it is. It's like we are deserving of pleasure. We are deserving of experiencing pleasure. I think, of course, I as a woman sometimes get too in my head about like, are they enjoying it? Are they enjoying it? When I don't ask myself, am I enjoying it? Do I like this? Do I want this? And I think it's important for us to ask ourselves those things. That will build up self-confidence. It'll build up love within ourselves. It'll build up trust within ourselves. And that's how you be sexy in the bedroom. Now, here's a little surface level tip. Have you ever worn lingerie before? Okay. I think it's important to also decorate our bodies. I found it very interesting when I met my boyfriend for the first time. He was like, you like accessorize your body in a way that I've never seen before. Like, it's almost like adorning a temple. He's like, you have so many accessories. And I realized that is because I enjoy the feeling of being adorned. It makes me feel sexy. When I am naked and covered in gold chains, yeah, I feel really fucking hot. You know what else makes me feel hot? A really good pair of lingerie. Something about my adult brain coming in, there really is nothing hotter than a good matching set, okay? Even if I'm not doing anything, even if I'm like, I'm not gonna have sex after this at all, like being in the grocery store and grocery shopping in like sweats or whatever, or even just like a chill little outfit, but knowing there's a bedazzled lace thong on underneath these pants and a matching bra, it's like, ooh, this is like my little secret. This is like my cutesy little secret, and it makes me feel sexy. It makes me feel hot. I'm adorning myself. My body is a temple and it deserves to be adorned. Naturally, it's going to make me feel sexy. I do every Valentine's Day. The one gift that I do give myself, among many things, let's be honest, your girl likes to shop, is I do like to gift myself one like lingerie set, whether it's like an expensive one from Agent Provocateur, depending on my budget for the fucking month. Maybe it's like I go to Sorella's, which is like the local sex store, and I go and I get a cheap set. Whatever it may be, I always every year like to gift myself a really good pair of lingerie because I do think the adornment factor is just, it's so hot. It really is so hot. There's nothing hotter than a good matching set. And also your partner will think you're really fucking hot too when you whip off that robe in a matching set and heels and hand them a disposable camera and say, take photos of me. Hello. My brain was really on 10. That was so smart of me. I think I was like 22. That was really smart of 22-year-old Hannah. Honestly, that was a good gift. Anyways, pleasure. It's all about the pleasure, babe. Seek your pleasure. Give pleasure to your partner. Adorn yourself. Celebrate yourself. You're meant to be celebrated. I love you. Speaking of underwear, someone said, do you wear underwear to bed? I want to let her breathe, but I fear I'm too ushy-gushy. Sad face. Love you. XOXO. Okay, well, that's the opposite of a problem. And no one break into my house, but no, I sleep naked. Growing up, I never slept naked because, hello, I always slept with my door open because I was afraid of fires when I was younger. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to have a pair of PJs on. Hello, duh. College, of course, same. Community area. Okay, but once I started living alone, I was like, oh, yes, I can be naked. I forgot like I'm allowed to be, There's not a lot of places you're allowed to be naked usually, but in the comfort of your own home, yeah, you're allowed to be. my partner is a very naked person. Not that they're like an exhibitionist in any sort of way, but they're the ones who taught me like it's okay to just like allow your body to be a body, and like you don't always have to cover up. Like he's the first person I ever met that slept naked, and so I kind of took that after him. Nowadays, yeah, I sleep naked. It's the only way to be comfortable. If there's something pressed up against her when I'm trying to sleep, and by her I mean my pussy, I'm not going to be able to sleep. I really am not. Even like on my period, if I am in like a pair of boy shorts or like boxers or whatever, because I'm going to free bleed, it's my bed. I can do whatever I want in it. Okay. It's my house. I'm going to free bleed where I feel safest. But like, I still feel too confined, and then I get hot, and then she's sweaty, and then it's like I have to sleep naked. Or if I'm not sleeping naked, I gotta be in all cotton underwear. Okay. And yeah, she's a gushy, you know, sometimes there's gonna be a little leakage, a little drippage, and that's why you have an extra pair of sheets. Go ahead and change those bad boys out. It is what it is. But I guess do whatever's most comfortable to you. To me, she's got to be able to be out and free, okay? All day she's cooped up in these tight ass jeans with the fucking seam rubbing against her, hot, sweaty. Okay, she needs some breathing time, and that time is always at nighttime. Someone said, okay, speaking of gushy, sometimes I have a wop, and sometimes I'm like the desert. Help, I love you. And that's okay. Sometimes I have noticed personally the time of the month really kind of makes it dependent. Also, the substances involved really make it dependent. Like, if I'm too high, I've noticed my entire body is just dry. Like, she's dry, my mouth's dry, and the best thing you can do in that position is just be like, spit on it. I'm not even kidding. Like, sometimes I'll be like too high. I'm never like too high to the point where it's like unsafe. So keep that in mind. But like sometimes I'm like it's too high and the cotton mouth is too real, and I'm like giving head. And honestly, hot sexy, if I can't produce the spit on my own, which if you can't, usually just gag on it for a couple seconds. Naturally, your body will produce the spit. But if you physically can't produce the spit, I will look my boyfriend in the eyes and be like, I need you to spit in my mouth. And then I'll just use that. And then it's like hot and sexy. If it's down there, go ahead and use some lube. Fantastic, amazing. If you're using condoms, please be aware that some lubes deteriorate condoms. Please just like get something that'll work well with what kind of sex you have. Absolutely. Don't sleep on lube. Okay, lube's fantastic. Maybe a little coconut oil, maybe a little baby oil, whatever works for you and the type of sex that you're having. Fantastic. But like, yeah, if it's too dry down there, I don't want you getting friction, girl. You don't need a rug burn down there. It's the last thing you need. Trust, I've had one down there. You do not need a rug burn on your puss. Okay, that's gonna hurt for days on end. Go ahead and go to the sex store with your partner, get some strawberry flavored lube, and go to town, babe. Okay. Now I have noticed, like I said, different parts of my cycle really is dependent on, like, you know, maybe I'm sure different organs are using more water than other organs. So please just be patient with yourself, but also make sure you're drinking water. A, I don't need you passing out trying to bounce on it. B, the best way to have a WAP 24/7 is to make sure you're extra hydrated. Extra hydrated. Because like I said, your organs need the water first. And your pussy does not always need all that water. But when it is trying to source what it can, and your brain has used all the water because you've only had a singular sip, yeah, of course she's going to be dry down there. Okay? Naturally so. So please make sure you're drinking enough water. You're staying hydrated. You're staying fed. You're taking care of your body. That overwhelmingly will definitely help. But if you need some man-made moisturizer, get crazy with it. The last thing, like I said, you need is a rug burn. And if worse comes to worse, tell them to spit on it. Like, literally. Poor little Danger. I was gone for a week, and then I got home, immediately went to bed, immediately woke up, went to horseback riding lessons, came home, sat down to film this podcast. I'm like, mom's got to work, okay? You want those greenie treats and those churu treats, babe? Oh, you want a new cat tower? You got to let mama work. But he's been walking in circles this entire time around me, like, mom, hello, mom, hello, did you forget about me? I feel so bad. I'm going to go cuddle hard with him. Honestly, we'll probably go take a nap after this, which will be fantastic. But Someone said, what advice would you give a 21-year-old boy? You know what? Boy or girl, 21's kind of a hard age because that's when it really hits you that it's like, oh, adult. 20, you still feel kind of childish. 21 is when the whole world, I guess, sees you as an adult. I don't believe in the whole 18 thing. That's a baby in my eyes. 21 is when the whole world's like, okay, what, you can gamble, you can really smoke, you can drink. Like, that's when you get the adult privileges, and I feel like the weight of the world can really sit on your shoulders. So number one piece of advice I could give a 21-year-old is, you're not that old yet, chill the fuck out. Number 2, have compassion for yourself and compassion for others. I think at 21, you need a lot more compassion for yourself, especially like if you're a 21-year-old boy. It's going to be very easy to get down on yourself or overthink yourself. And I think a lot of self-hate can then be projected onto other people, thus have compassion for other people. But number 1, have compassion for yourself. It'll make your life way more balanced. It'll make the trials and tribulations that you go through at 21 way more balanced. It'll make the relationships that you get into way more balanced. Having compassion for yourself. As a woman, as a man, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. 21 can be a very hard age just because the weight of the world does kind of finally sit on your shoulders. And if you can have compassion for yourself, it does extend into all other areas of your life and just makes it way more balanced. I think a lot of the mistakes I made at 21 was because I didn't have compassion for myself, because I was too hard on myself, and thus I just made my life harder for myself when I really didn't have to. Speaking of balance, someone said, how to balance staying locked in and wanting to go out. Who said you couldn't have both? Who said you couldn't have both? I'm in an era where I'm really trying to do both, where it's like, I want to be able to go out one night and wake up the next morning and go to yoga without any repercussions. 2 years ago, Hannah would not be able to do that. She would go out and be out till 6 a.m., which was great at the time. But like I said, balance. We need balance in life. Nowadays, I really am trying to hold myself accountable and really just make sure that the life that I'm living is one that can be sustainable. And I think with the whole like health era of like, oh, working out, not drinking, doing this, doing that, it can kill a lot of fun in your life, and we need fun in our life. You need to have nights where you go out dancing with your girls. You're going to have people who invite you out to a new jazz club, and you should go. You're going to have people who want to go out to dinner and maybe stay a little bit later, and you should be there and do those things, you know? Having like something going on is always great for the next day, so you have an excuse if you do need to bounce early. But also, I do think it's important to be able to go out and enjoy your time and also be a functioning adult in society. For me personally, what that looks like is I'll probably go out like once a month. I used to go out probably every weekend. Can't do that. I've learned. I just become an alcoholic again. And listen, I love getting fucking drunk and dancing with my friends. Like if I could do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I would. But I can't. We got to do other things in life. So I allow that crazy side of myself to come out. But also, I feel like when I used to do this, I'd be like, okay, once a week I'm allowed to go out. And then I'd wait for that once a week. And then I go crazy to the point where I'm like I said, staying out till 6 a.m., drinking so much that sometimes like the next 2 days are ruined. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like that either. Chill the fuck out. Go out with your friends. Go dancing. Have a couple cocktails. Go home. Eat a fun little snack, shower, wash your face, go to bed. You know, you can have balance with things. You can still enjoy life, party, have fun, and make it to yoga the next day or make it to work the next day, whatever the hell you have to do as an adult. You just got to have a little self-control and balance in your life, okay? You don't need to go as hard as you think. And if you do need days where you go really fucking hard and go crazy, then go ahead, just be safe and don't let it turn into a multiple day ordeal. That's the only kind of advice I can give you. With that being said, we are rounding out to the end of our episode. I know. No call-ins this week. Sorry, I didn't get around to them, but that's okay. We'll have a heavy call-in episode next week because I did have a bunch of people that submitted them this week, and I want to make sure I get to everybody's call-ins. So if you did submit them, go ahead and be like, hey girl, call in above. If you want to submit them, you can follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. And you can just DM me them there. Also, if you want to see what I've been up to, my hiking outfits, my horseback riding adventures, my beach photos, those will all be up on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. If If you want to see the vlog, it'll be out on Sunday. Hannah Marlene 444 on YouTube. Out early for the Patreon girlies, plus many more things. Since it is the beginning of the month, I'm going to do our tarot card reading right after this, so stay tuned. Patreon.com/smokeseshotty. I love my patrons. They're really what keeps this podcast going. So thank you for all of your support. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for listening to me yap every single week. It is so fun to be here with you guys and just have a good fucking time, truly. Life can get way too fucking serious sometimes. So getting on here and getting unserious and serious when we need to is always just such a blessing to have this community, have this understanding, and to have all of you guys living side by side with me. It makes life much less lonely. And hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of dose of inspiration that you needed this week. A little bit of love, kindness, compassion, whatever you're seeking. Hopefully I could give it to you. And if I couldn't, maybe you seek that for yourself this week. Maybe that's your homework. But with that being said, I hope you all stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!